All right, we have done adding, subtracting, and multiplying integers. So we are now moving on to dividing integers. So the question that we're looking at is the quotient of two integers positive, negative, or zero? And then in addition to that, how can we tell? So we're going to do some similar things that we have done in the past, as we're going to do some inductive reasoning. See if we can figure out any patterns that come with dividing integers. So, first one, 15 divided by negative 3. I'm looking to see if they have the same sign or the different signs. 15 is positive, 3 is negative. Tells me that they're different. Okay, when I do 15 divided by negative 3, that's going to give me a negative 5. Negative 5. So my answer is negative. 12 divided by 4, they have the same sign. Same. Ugh. Let's try this again. They have the same. All right. 12 divided by 4 is 3. My answer is positive. 12 divided by negative 3, they have different signs. 12 divided by negative 3 gives me a negative 4. My answer is negative. Negative 12 divided by negative 4, they have the same sign. Okay, a negative 12 divided by negative 4 is a positive 3. My answer is positive. Negative 6 divided by 2, I've got different signs. That's going to give me a negative 3. My answer is negative. Negative 21 divided by negative 7. Same sign. Negative 21 divided by negative 7 gives me a 3. My answer is positive. 10 divided by negative 2, I've got different signs here. Ten divided by negative 2 is going to give me a negative 5. My answer is negative. 12 divided by negative 6, different. It's going to, different. It's going to give me a negative 2. My answer is negative. This one is a little tricky, right? I've got 0 divided by negative 5. They don't really have signs, right? I have a negative, but 0 doesn't have a sign. 0 is not positive or negative. My quotient is 0, which means that my answer is a 0, right? It's kind of the same thing for this last one. I've got 0 divided by 4. They don't really have signs. My answer is 0, and it is still 0. Here's something that I want you to note, pay attention to. We cannot divide a number by 0. So, if we were to, I can show you here even. Let's pull up the calculator, make it big. Okay, if I were to do 8 divided by 0, what do you think my answer is going to be? You would think potentially it would be 0, right? Because 0 divided by another integer is 0. But in fact, I get an answer that will either say error or cannot divide by 0. So Never am I going to be able to divide a number by 0. Can't do it. Don't do it. Okay? It's going to create an error message, and it will make you sad, so don't do it. Don't divide by 0. We can't do it. Okay, we're going to come up with some rules then. So, general rules for dividing. If I have two integers that have the same sign, if I look up here and I find where they have the same sign, so here they have the same sign, here they have the same sign, here they have the same sign. Okay, my answer is always positive. Okay, so two integers that have the same sign, my quotient is always positive. Always positive. Two integers that have different signs, so I'll look at the ones that I didn't circle. All of those say negative, right? So I have different signs. A different sign leads me to a negative. Same thing happens everywhere else. So two integers with different signs, quotient, my quotient is always negative. Okay, and we already know if I divide 0 by another integer, if I divide 0 by another integer, my answer is always 0. My quotient is always 0. And can I divide a number by 0? No. No, I cannot. I cannot divide another number by 0. Okay, we've got some practice here for us. So, I would like you to try to think about these without using your calculator. So I've got 3 divided by negative 1. Well, I know they have different signs. My answer is going to be negative. This is going to give me a negative 3. And I can even think about it like this. Division is just fractions, right? So I've got 3 divided by a negative 1. Okay? I know that that's going to give me a negative 3, right? 8 divided by 2, same sign, going to be positive. It's going to give me a positive 4. Negative 10 divided by 5, I've got different signs. So I've got negative 10 divided by 5 is going to give me a negative 2. Negative 21 divided by negative 7, I've got the same signs. I know it's going to give me a positive number. So I've got 21 divided by 7 is going to give me a positive 3. Okay, I would like you to pause this now, complete the last 4 on your own, and then just come and check to make sure that your answers are answers match mine. All right, this is what you should have gotten for your answers: negative 8, 1, 0, and negative 5. If you did not, go back and check your work. All right, I've got a couple more examples down here below. So I'm going to evaluate the expression. I need to remember order of operations. So if you remember, my order of operations, they say it's PEMDAS, right? I've got parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Now, the thing that I will say about PEMDAS is it's nice to remember the order of operations, but there are a couple things to remember. Parentheses and exponents will always happen first, so your P and your E always will happen first. When I get to multiplication and division and addition and subtraction, I'm going to work from left to right. So what that means is that I will not always do multiplication before I do division. And I will not always do addition before I do subtraction. I need to work on my equations, my problems, like I do when I'm reading, right? So when I read from left to right. right? So this says evaluate the expression. I'm reading from left to right. I need to do the same thing with my equations. I need to read my equations from left to right. Okay, so that doesn't mean that I'm going to multiply before I divide every single time, and I'm going to add before I subtract every single time. I just need to multiply or divide before I add or subtract, and I work from left to right in both cases. So, if I look at this first one, I've got negative 63 divided by negative 7 plus 6. If I'm looking at order of operations, I know that I need to divide before I add, so I'm going to take negative 63 divided by negative 7. Two negatives make a positive, right? So negative 63 divided by negative 7 is going to give me a positive 9. Oops. Oops. It's going to give me a positive 9. Let's try over here. Still nothing. You know by now that my board doesn't like me. Okay, try this again. Maybe if I move up a little bit. This is going to give me a positive 9. So now I've just got 9 plus 6, which is going to give me 15, right? Next one, I have negative 5 minus 12 divided by 3. So, 12 divided by 3, I know that I need to do my division before I do subtraction. 12 divided by 3 is going to give me 4. Now I have 5 minus 4, negative 5 minus 4, excuse me. Well, that's a negative 5. Negative 5 minus 4 is going to give me a negative 9. Okay, this last one is where I need to remember to work from left to right, right? So I've got negative 8 times 7 plus 33 divided by negative 11. I'm working from left to right. So I've got negative 8 times 7. It's going to give me a negative 56. Next, I'm going to do this part. 33 divided by negative 11 is going to give me a negative 3. Negative 56 plus a negative 3, or negative 56 minus 3, is going to give me negative 59. It's kind of hard to see. This says negative 59. There we go. Box my answers here so we can distinguish them. Okay. Last one. Here we go. Table shows the number of yards a football player runs in each quarter of a game. Find the mean number of yards the player runs per quarter. So when I'm talking about mean, I'm looking at average, right? So what I need to do then is add up all of these yards and divide them about how many quarters there are, which there are 4. We know there's 4 quarters, right? So for me, it helps if I can group these two things together. So I've got negative 2 plus 14 is going to give me or positive 12, excuse me. I've got a positive 12 there. And then I will look at my next one. So I've got negative 18 minus 6. That's going to give me a negative 24. Okay? If I add these two things together, so I'm adding up all 4, 12 plus a negative 24 is going to give me a negative 12. Am I done? No, I am not done. That's me just adding up all of my yards. Now I need to take my negative 12, divide it by how many quarters there are, which there are 4. And so I've got negative 12 divided by 4 is going to give me negative 3 yards. That is this player's average yards per quarter. That is all for 5.3.